Hey all, I'm Gail Davenport. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. Today, this is the card that we're going to be making, and it's from our new bundle in our annual catalog called Celebrate Sunflowers. It's such a fun one, and it also has all these dies. So if you buy it together as a bundle, you will save 10%, and I can assure you, you're going to have a good time with it. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is take a piece of our brand new in color Bumblebee, and we're going to cut it 11 by 4¼ and scored at 5½. I went ahead and did some stamping just to save us a little bit of time, and this is from the same stamp set, Know That You Are Loved, and it will go on the inside. So let's go ahead and get that done. And then on the outside, we have a 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and we're going to just go ahead and adhere that down right now. But as we do that, let me tell you a little cheat story or situation here. We're going to put a little bit of glue right, or a ribbon on that glue right there where we want it. And then we're going to bring it straight around, and we're going to put it back in. And I always cut a little bit extra because I just never know for sure how it's going to line up. And I got glue stuck to on my thumb, so it's not going to stick. So anyway, we will cut this off on this side, and we'll bring this around again. I'm going to grab that glue from up there and put it, and then you want to flip it around. The nice thing about Tombow glue, other than it sticking to your fingers, is you can move it a little bit. So there we go. We have that part done. And we're going to go ahead and we're just going to adhere this right straight on. So there we are. Okay, now for this next part, I went ahead and I stamped this, and I stamped it in our soft suede, and then I colored it, and I'm going to show you how I did that because I don't know where my other one is. Well, I guess I'm going to have to color it for you. I was hoping to save us some time. So please feel free to join me. I started out with the light saffron, and I just kind of did it all around, going up and kind of swishing it, and I didn't care if there was some white left because not every sunflower is completely all yellow. And I know because I went to a field and looked. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known for you. So we're going to go ahead and color that. Then the next thing I did is I came in with a little bit darker saffron, and I did a little more coloring, and I just kind of, to give it a little bit of depth. You don't really have to be too careful because you're really not going all the way up. After I did that, I took my dark daffodil, and then I started really kind of coming up to give it a little bit more dimension. So this is when you're going to be a little bit more careful. When I got done with that, I came back with my light saffron, and then I came up closer to the ends, but I still didn't do all of the white. Okay, then I went for the inside. I took my crumb cake and I went all the way around the outside of it, and this is the light crumb cake, and then I did that dark center. Then I took my dark crumb cake and I just kind of dotted it a little bit here and then again in the center. I went over it with my light crumb cake just to blend it. If y'all don't have these Stampin' Blends, you don't know what you're missing. And if you do, then you can have the same fun I'm having. I colored it in again, but then I did this. I took a little bit of the Smoky Slate, the light, And I came back in around this just ever so lightly, and again in the center, just to give it a little bit of warmth, and one more time with the light crumb cake. It just kind of helped center that. Okay, so we'll give that a couple minutes to dry, and this is what we cut out in the dies. Isn't that just beautiful? And it's pretty easy to pop out, and all these little dots, and you might have to use your pick tool to get a few of those out, but it was really good. And I did the same process of the center of the sunflower that I did on the other, and I just kind of came around, just again with the light. And like I said, you don't have to be real careful. That's another thing I kind of liked about this, because probably like no two snowflakes are alike, no two sunflowers are alike. Okay, and then I went just around the edge, kind of haphazardly, and around the center with the dark crumb cake. I came back with a light, and I started blending it all. Then once I got it about the shade I wanted, I came back in with the Smoky Slate light, like I did before. And it just gives it that hue of a shade of darkness. And I kind of liked that. Came back in with the light crumb cake and just blended it. Okay, so now we're ready to start assembling. So I took my sunflower and I did mini dimensionals, just on the center. And I just put them around, just, where there isn't a hole for it to pop through. And about 3 is all you need. I took these, that's still a little wet. I think I was too quick. So we'll go ahead and put the dimensionals on this that we're going to need too. I don't know if we need 4, but that's what we're going to put. Well, and I forgot to bring my take your pick tool over here. So I have to take these off the old-fashioned way. And we can go ahead and put this about where we want it. And I think I'm going to put it right about there. And now maybe this is dry enough we can, no, it's still not. So we're going to go ahead and start putting some of our flowers around. And we're going to need glue dots for that. So let me get my glue dots. And we're going to just, I think that's too long, so I'm going to cut it off. And we're going to do this just a little bit longer, or shorter, I mean. Put the glue dot on again, and we're going to stick it right there. Because you want to kind of be careful because you don't want it to go over your card. Then we're going to take this one, and I think we're going to trim this down a little bit too, and put a glue dot on it. And we're going to put it right there. So, and I had another piece. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, well, I had a little fern-like piece that goes over here, but I don't have it right now, so I guess we won't do that. Okay, so we're going to try this again. And there's a little trick to this, but it's not hard. So I'm having to make sure they're really secure. Okay, you see where this swirls and then you've got your points? That's what I look for. I just look for this swirl where it kind of goes like this, and then I try to match it up as much as I can. But you don't want it completely perfect because you want it to have the 3D look to it. Then I took a dimensional on the back of this and I put it right in the center. And then I put it in my sunflower. And there you go. Y'all, this is the Bumblebee gingham ribbon. This is the new Bumblebee color. We do not have Bumblebee's Stampin' Blends, or I would have used them. And then inside, it's the Bumblebee ink. I keep saying bubble, I'm sorry. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this card as much as I have. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to tap the little bell. If you have any questions or if you'd like to shop on my online store, it's gaildavenport.stampinup.net. I'd love to see you there. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.